It's the middle of the summer on the farm, and I've got big plans to make over $200,000 in just 6 months. This is, however, a hard mode challenge, with vastly reduced sale prices, no contracts allowed, and no easy mods. So it's going to take a lot of work. Let's start by taking a look at our planting calendar. We just harvested the barley, and it will be ready again in 3 months, which is perfect for our double fertilization cover crop. Next month, the oats will be ready to harvest, and what I plan to do in that field is turn it around next month to plant canola. The grass fields will also need to be cut, baled, wrapped, and rolled in July. So we've got a very busy summer ahead, and it's necessary to squeeze every dollar we can off the farm. I've left the planting equipment poised and ready for use at the barley field, but we made a commitment to quality fields and equipment for the farm, which means a dash over to the store to rent a rather expensive lime spreader and buy at least a couple bags of lime. $2,200 is a hefty rental fee, but there is one other not so obvious option in the game. Under manure spreaders, there's one spreader that also lays down lime. It's a fair bit cheaper at around $1,600, but it only has an 8-meter working width and moves at 9 miles per hour. The other started with a 24-meter working width, 3 times the cheaper one, and moves faster at 11 miles per hour. So I'm going to go with the more expensive one and quickly knock out the liming. We'll buy 2 pallets of lime, and I'm hoping with what we have left over back on the farm, it'll be enough. If this Bredel spreader ever goes on sale, it'll be a very tempting buy, but let's jump into the middle of it and get it done. It's a fairly good-sized field. It looks like a race to the end of the field to see if we run out of lime. This is all we have at the farm, and I'd really rather not drive all the way back to the store for 1 pallet. We've got it. 93 liters left, and we'll hit the one tiny bit we missed. For 73 liters left in the hopper. We might as well save it though and throw it out at the shed. Next time we might be 73 liters short, and get on with planting our 3-month cover crop. If you missed the prior episode, what I'm using as a cover crop is grass. How it works is this. We plant the grass. In a minimum of 2 months, we cut or harvest the grass, and that gives the first application of fertilizer. Then, we roll the grass for the second application of fertilizer. And finally, we plant our crop. This method gives several benefits. The obvious one is we get our 2 fertilization applications. The second is we get some grass we can wrap for silage like our other fields and get a little extra money. The last thing, and I think this is true, because grass doesn't get weeds, I think the grass might choke out the weeds, which means when we plant our actual crop, it'll be weed-free. That was only partially true last time, and we had these weird thin rows of weeds in the field, but we'll see what happens this time. For a small cedar, this thing seems to move right along, so let's finish getting this cover crop planted. All right, we're coming down the last stretch, and I think we'll probably need to buy some more seed before we plant our actual crop. We're getting mighty low. We can put away the cedar, we're done with that, and get the roller. Now, rolling the field with this grass roller won't do anything on the freshly planted grass, but I'm using the roller on the field to collect data. Our maximum speed, even downhill a little, is 6 miles per hour. This is another piece of equipment we never repaired after we bought it used, so it's become pretty worn. The rated speed is 7 miles per hour, so we'll take this over to the store, like we did the baler in the last episode, and get it fully repaired. This is a much cheaper piece of equipment, so it should be much less to fully restore, even if it is in a bad shape. It's much less worn than I thought, and $800 is easy to swallow. We'll repair the tractor too as long as we're here and top it off with fuel. Let's see if our restoration made an improvement. We'll do the same strip for comparison. 7 miles per hour. I know 1 mile per hour doesn't sound like much, but if we take an hour to roll all our fields, that's almost 10 minutes saved, and everything adds up. The roller can go back in the shed for the time being, and we can move forward into July, where we've got the oat harvest and all kinds of other things to do. We woke up early, and wouldn't you know, it's a massive hailstorm with rain to follow. Definitely not oat harvesting weather, which is how I thought we'd start the day. We probably shouldn't be doing anything with our fields in this kind of weather. I don't think any respectable farmer would, but we've got a ton to do, so I can't just wait around for the weather to clear. We'll put the wee trailer, as a viewer called it, away in its place and get our front loader out of the field where we abandoned it, and get our weight put back on the rear. I can barely see it in the tall grass. The weather won't clear for a while, but we can do another quality improvement move here on the farm. The front mower we bought new in episode 1 of the series, we've never repaired it. The rear mower we bought used and haven't repaired it at all either. So we'll first do a test run to see our travel speed, then do the repairs. Okay, 11 miles per hour seems to be it. Both the front and rear mower have a rated speed of 13, so let's see if we can get those back to top performance. Okay, all repaired. Let's move the combine off the grass and out of the way before we do our test, and at least get it positioned for harvest. It'll happen later today for sure. Now, let's see how the mowers work. "14 miles per hour. That's what we like to see. The horsepower of the tractor is just a little under what's needed for the two mowers together, so we won't get that uphill. However, the before and after tests were both slightly downhill, so we'll take that as a nice improvement. Let's finish mowing all our fields, even though I hate doing this in such a terrible hailstorm, and also take care of the baling. I'll be curious to see if the overall work feels faster. Okay, the hail is now starting to turn to rain, which is an improvement, but we still can't harvest. As we put our equipment away in the shed, I want to show this amazing tractor that came on sale. This is probably just window shopping, but let's check it out. Upgradable to over 450 horsepower, only 6 hours of use, and it's 42% off. This John Deere 8R is an upper tier tractor for sure, and it won't be long before we'll be buying our own high horsepower tractor. But for now, while it's still raining, we'll get on with the bale pickup and make everything nice and tidy. Okay, the bales are all cleared and ready for wrapping, and it's still raining. Let's check the new goats. Yes, look at that, a full barn of 48 goats, 24 mature ones, and 24 babies getting up to full health. We also have a full pasture of meadow grass at over 8,000 liters. That should be plenty of feed and more to take them from month to month during the growing season. In a few more months, they'll start slowly adding to the milk production, and we'll start seeing it in the profits. Another rainy chore to do here is fill up the sawmills. This first one can use a couple of these elm limbs that we set off to the side. Alright, now down to our new sawmill where we'll cut down one of the fully mature shagbark hickories. This tree is pretty massive, so I doubt the sawmill can take it all, but we'll feed it what we can and get the rest ready to go. This hickory and the elm should get cleared before the new oaks planted here start to grow. We'll just wrangle the top half first. Okay, for a bit of shoving for the beefier bottom half. I guess that's more than it can handle at once. I'll cut it in half. Still too much. Quartered? Alright, a piece of it went. And it's fairly full. We'll leave the last two chunks and do a nudge with the tractor just to keep the path cleared for the lumber. One last small branch for the first sawmill, and that'll do it. With it still raining, I think we'll convert the trailer and sell more of our cut lumber here in July while the prices are still good. The new sawmill has turned out several pallets, and even the first sawmill has made some products since June. So we'll sell all that and see where we are with the rain. With the two sawmills combined, this has turned from a small little run to a significant selling expedition. This is all probably worth a good $14,000 to $15,000. $16,200. That's good wood. And for a little impromptu sales run, it's what we like to see. Alright, it's still raining. So, I'll shift gears for a second and go over a comment I had in the last video. I had said I wasn't going to use any easy mods to remove these buildings. We just have to work around them. The comment suggested that I could still use a mod, but manually deduct a fee from my account to pay for the removal. I thought about it and liked it. When I tested it though and removed any one of these buildings on my property, it also removed the entire production across the street and its sell point. The sales trigger was the only thing still there, but it was like 1 to 2 feet hovering in the air, and the whole thing just would have been disastrous. So, I loved the idea of paying a fee, but it just won't work well in this situation. But this ball, I should get the ball. Okay, the open bin now has a purpose, we have a ball, and it's still raining. The good news though is that our silage is ready to sell. So we'll cut that open, get it loaded and sold, and see how far that puts us to our goal of over $200,000. In the next episode, hit the like button to make it stop raining, and I'll see you in the next one.